Wow your guests this holiday season with a beautiful spread of cheese and charcuterie from CHS Coastal Charcuterie.
This is Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. This is Charleston Women Podcast.
And now we would like to welcome the owner and founder of CHS Coastal Charcuterie, Kelsey Pettus, to the show. Kelsey, good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
You know this is my favorite topic, cheese and charcuterie. Charleston loves charcuterie, don't we?
They do. I didn't realize how much Charleston loves charcuterie, but apparently it's a lot.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about all kinds of things. You're very busy for the holidays. I want to get into your holiday orders, everything you have to, you have to offer, because you can really make people's parties pop with your wonderful spreads. But before we get there, I think it's really important for our listeners to get to know you and see the exponential growth that you have seen in just a little over a year, right? When did you start this business?
Sure. So I started this right at a year and I would say 2 to 3 months ago. I should know the date off the top of my head, but almost a year and a half ago. And I started it basically just making boards for friends, for family, different things like that. And, once I, kind of got the amount of, emails and inquiries about, ordering boards, I realized this might actually potentially turn into something. So we went ahead and we got our licensure, we got our insurance, we got all the things that, had to be done to set that up. We are typically making around 60 to 80 orders a week. We have all kind of events coming up. It's been a whirlwind, but so much fun.
Right. I mean, so in a year you went from just doing it for friends to 60 to 80 boards a week. That is incredible. Yeah. And as people listen to this, they really need to go to your Instagram page, which is CHS Coastal Charcuterie. So you can check, first of all, follow you, but look at all the pictures and everything. You have all kinds of boards that you offer. What is your secret? Because when I try to do a charcuterie board, it looks atrocious. Yours are beautiful. Did you just innately have that skill, or is this something that you researched and looked up? How did you figure this all out?
I don't know. I just started looking at different videos on Instagram. Thank God for Pinterest.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff online, and it's just something that I really enjoy. So I kind of, went a little bit more in depth than like your average person would making a charcuterie board. And thankfully they turned out looking okay. And then they started looking a little bit better. And now we're, doing grazing tables. We have like a 12-foot long table we've done. I'm trying to think of the longest board we've ever done. I think it was a little over 20 feet for the our grazing boards.
Gosh.
It was a big one. It was for a wedding.
How many people does a 20-foot board feed?
It depends on the dimensions and everything, but sure. I think that one was for 200.
Wow. I can't imagine the work that goes into that. So when we talk, I'm sure when we talk about charcuterie, I'm thinking the meat and the cheese and, some of the sides that come with it, but you have brunch boards, you have dessert boards, birthday boards, movie night boards, charcuteries. I'll stop right there and let you just kind of explain each one of those and what they look like.
Yeah. So our standard board, we call it on our website, it's called the Chucktown Charcuterie board. That one has 3 to 4 different meats, different cheeses. We always add fruits, nuts, honey, fig jam, garnish, all that. And then our dessert boards, it's typically a lot of chocolate. That's kind of our most requested item, is a lot of chocolate on the dessert board. We've recently been doing s'mores boards. And then the brunch boards, they've got little Belgian waffles, they've got fruit, nuts, cheeses, all of that kind of thing. And then the movie night boards are a lot of fun. A lot of the parents of the College of Charleston students, they order a lot for me. So they order movie night boards to be sent to them, and, charcuterie boards, stuff like that. Movie night is a lot of fun. And then one of our boards that we've been doing a lot recently is the birthday board. So what we do for that, we try to customize it as much as possible. So we'll, find out if they, what kind of cake they like, what kind of sweets, what kind of candies they like. And then we just customize it to their, favorite options, and then we kind of go from there. And then recently we've been doing a lot of the charcuterie. So it's I don't know where that name came from, to be honest, but it's single serve charcuterie little cones. They can come in little cones or little like mini jars or tumblers. And that's been a hit lately, especially during COVID with all of the, events that, you want it to be more safe. That's a good option as well. But it's fun. It's fun to make.
You have blown up. I mean, you are going to be so busy as we're moving into the holiday season. So I want to get to the different type of gift options that you have, because I would imagine if you're already getting so many orders weekly, it's just going to double for the holidays. So what should we do to place that order to make sure we get it on time?
Yeah. So to place the order, I would recommend just going to our website. It's a little drop down menu. You can click on which board you'd like. But yeah, especially for the holidays, we've got different Halloween options, different Thanksgiving options. Around Christmas time, this time last year, we did, and like I said, I don't know where these names come from, but I called it the charcuterie wreath, and it was like a Christmas wreath, but I
remember that.
Yeah, all around it. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, they fill up really fast. This year I had to kind of put a cap on how many I can take, just so I can keep my mental sanity a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the website's the place to order for that.
Podcast advertising is the new way to reach your best audience. Podcast advertising gives your business a voice of authority. Be heard. Advertise on one of our podcasts. Visit carolinapodcasts.com or call 843-345-7012.
You're listening to the Charleston Women Podcast.
It's not too late to order. We just have to get on it, right? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, there's still quite a few spots left for that. And then, yeah.
I mean, what a great way it makes your party easier, but it's something people remember, when you walk in and see one of your beautiful boards. It's so memorable. I want to talk about the classes that you have, because you kind of teach people how to do it. And then if you don't mind, I would appreciate some pro tips. Like if we're at home trying to put together a board, I know it's never going to look like yours, but what are some of the rules? Like, don't you have rules with like soft cheeses with the harder cheese and types of meat and stuff like that?
Yeah. So as far as the classes goes, I started these Build-A-Board classes about 2 or 3 months ago, and it sold out immediately. I think within the first 24 hours, all the tickets were gone. But it's basically people go on Eventbrite, they pay for a ticket, and then they show up, and I've got everything they need to create their own charcuterie board. And I walk them through step by step how to make it. We've got pictures. We do, I just explain the whole entire process. So they're able to take home a platter to enjoy either on the way home or there or, for another day. But it's a lot of fun. We do giveaways. We've got music playing. We've got, all kind of fun stuff. So yeah, those are a lot of fun. But as far as like pro tips, I guess I would say, it just depends on what kind of cheeses you like. For me, I prefer soft cheeses. So I like a good like honey goat cheese or triple cream brie or different things like that. But I like to just make sure there's a big variety. I think that's the key, is making sure there's different hard and soft cheeses. There's at least a couple different meats. My favorite is prosciutto. And then I always just like to fill it and fluff it with fruit, grapes, blackberries, blueberries, the nuts. So I like to put walnuts, pistachios, almonds, fig jam, honey, all the things.
What's kind of your favorite? You said you like to fluff it, fill it, whatever. What's your favorite thing? Do you have anything that's kind of unexpected that you put on the boards and people are like, oh, wow, I would never think of that, but that's delicious or pairs perfectly with everything else?
So this is going to sound silly, but I like to put a little bit of chocolate on every board, mainly because I love chocolate, but most people enjoy a little bit of like something sweet with the cheese and meats and fruit. So I always like to use these little salted caramel chocolate bites that I'll kind of tuck in there, and different things like that I don't think people are expecting, but they're like, oh, that's a nice surprise. Yeah,
you find it like hiding under a grape and you're like, oh,
right. Yeah.
Chocolate. So we've talked about your growth, which was so quick and so wonderful within a year. So now you have a food truck that's coming, or you have it right now. You have a food truck and then you have a lunch menu for walk-up orders. Where is this going to be? Where does this all work?
So we rent commercial kitchen space at the Schoolhouse Event Center in Avondale area of West Ashley. It's at 720 Magnolia Road. And November 8th it's Monday, November 8th. That's our official launch day of our walk-up menu. So we're going to have, people can still go online, pre-order, pay for the boards and all of that and get boards delivered to them or for pickup. But this will be more of a lunchtime type thing, be more like a 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. People can walk up, I think we're going to call it like an adult Lunchable or something like that, but something fun, something small that, they'll have like a little sweets option. They'll get to pick their meats, their cheeses, different things like that. So it'll be fun.
I mean, it sounds like my dream come true to have charcuterie for lunch, an adult Lunchable.
Yeah. That's my lunch about today now.
Yes. So, when we talk about your growth, we were talking before we started this, that it's still just you, right? Like you're a one-woman show. And you're at a point where you probably need help. You said you have friends and stuff, but you're doing a lot by yourself.
Thank God I've got good friends and good family because they help me out a lot. And I have a wonderful friend. She does a lot of my deliveries. So I definitely have a little bit of help, but I need a whole team.
Yeah. I talked to you, I think it was a year ago, right? Roughly when you were just starting. And I remember you were in your kitchen. I know you have kids. Like how have you found the balance? This just started taking a hobby or something that you were good at. It turned into a business. And I'm sure that it's grown beyond your wildest dreams already.
Yeah, it really has. It's been just so fun, very busy, but very fun. But I mean, just to be able to like go have my own little area in the food truck and at the commercial kitchen space, different things like that. It's kind of I kind of look at my food truck as like a mini storefront. So being able to do that, leave, come back home, to my husband and daughter, that definitely helps with balance. Sure. And I'm still working on the business aspect of it. My husband is the one that knows a lot more about that. And he's able to do the taxes, all that kind of stuff. So I get to do the fun.
What would you say? They've been talking recently, I'm sure you've heard it in the news, like they're calling this year is the mass resignation. Like I think after the pandemic, so many people have reevaluated their lives and are choosing new paths, kind of I don't know if COVID was your impetus or not, but what would you say, because you have seen so much success, so for someone who is looking to take that side hustle or that passion and make it into a business, what piece of advice would you have for that person?
I would say just go for it at first. Like, honestly, I feel like if you think too much into it, you're going to convince yourself not to. That's kind of what I did at first, but just go for it. I mean, you learn as you go. We all learn as we go. I'm still learning as I go. Like I said, I don't know the business aspect that much as my husband does, but thank God I've got him. But yeah, I mean, I think we're all just learning as we go. And, if it's something that you enjoy, then why not, Right.
So you feel like you're still, as is everybody, just trying to figure it out, right? Jumping in and trying to figure it out as you go.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the fun part of it too.
What would you say about your Instagram success? Because I remember when you started, it was like, oh, there's a new, charcuterie account. And then you just exploded. Was that, something that you were very strategic about, or that just came through word of mouth when everyone saw how beautiful your product and how delicious your product was?
Yeah. Well, I did take a few like different Instagram courses online, trying to figure out, because that's where most of my business comes from, is through Instagram. And then, from there, people go to my website and order. But, a lot of times, like people coming into town for, Charleston is a destination city. So people come here for vacation, especially bachelorette parties. I feel like that's about 30% of our business at least. So a lot of times in today's day and age, people will go on Instagram instead of Google. I feel like a lot of the times, and, type in Charleston Charcuterie or, different things like that. And then they're kind of, relocated to my page, which leads them to the website. So, I feel like it's just as far as Instagram, like strategy goes or anything. I think it's just, I don't know, like using hashtag. I had to learn all this because I didn't know any of this. So like different hashtags and tagging and all that kind of stuff. But
And I think people, we see your pictures, and I know I personally have sent it to my husband, sent it to a girlfriend, like, oh, we should get this, everybody's sharing it, which is great. What is next for you? You've done so much in 12 months. You just have the food truck, your adult Lunchables at lunchtime. What, if we could fast forward, let's say 5 years, what is your dream scenario with CHS Coastal Charcuterie?
Oh gosh. We are somewhat in the process of looking at different rental properties downtown for a storefront, which would be amazing. We're just about outgrown the food truck. And if, everything continues, we would love to have a storefront downtown. Maybe expand, I don't know, but definitely a storefront downtown would be my ideal dream. And, it would just be a place that people can come, they can drink wine, eat cheese, learn how to build a board, have classes there, just the whole thing.
It sounds like a great girls' night, a great date night, a great evening when friends come in town. Another question just occurred to me. How many boards do you have? Are they at your house or are they in your workspace?
So thankfully at the kitchen that we rent space at, the commercial kitchen in Avondale, they've got a ton of storage. So we're able to store a lot there. But on days that we've got 40 boards, it's you have to really utilize the space that you have. So
right. And where do you find them all? Do you have a provider, or are you just like the rest of us and you're at Home Goods and you're like, oh, that would be a great vessel or bowl for this?
No, we do have a guy that we work with. He does a lot of our engraving of different wooden boards and stuff like that. But a lot of people, honestly, especially with Charleston being like a water city and people going out on the boats and stuff, a lot of people, our basic option is in a bakery box. So a lot of people just want it in that bakery box. So it's easy to transport. They can chunk it after, but we do have different like customizable options as well. Right.
Is there anything I've missed that you would like to tell the women of Charleston listening to this podcast right now?
I think just like we were saying earlier, any piece of advice that I would give is just to go for it. As long as you're having fun, you enjoy it. And, I would say go for it. It's a lot of fun. It's been a, like I said, it's been a whirlwind this past year, but it's definitely been worth it. And it's something that, I can look back and I'm definitely very proud of.
And said, wow, look what I did in a year. If we are new to you, what was that one board you get? The Charleston board, I think you said, is like your basic one or the most popular one?
So our most popular is the sweetgrass grazing board. It's a board that's almost 3 feet. That one's our most popular. And then our basic, like just standard box, is the Chucktown Charcuterie.
Chucktown Charcuterie. What is your personal favorite board that you just like to make? It's fun for you.
I would say the charcuteries. They at first they were not my favorite because it's a lot of time, but I like doing it, especially different like themed parties or events. You can kind of, I can take my own approach and make it cute and, stuff like that. So my favorite is definitely the charcuteries.
All right. I need to try charcuterie. Kelsey, where do we go? Your Instagram, say it again, and also your website. So everyone listening can go follow you and get their orders in for the holidays.
So it's CHS Coastal Charcuterie, and we're on Instagram and Facebook. And then also at our website at www.chscoastalcharcuterie.com.
All right, Kelsey, always a pleasure to talk to you. Again, that website, chscoastalcharcuterie.com, or you can go to Instagram is the best place just to see everything. Are you going to do your classes again? I need to take one of those.
Yes, we've got a few. We've got about 5 or 6 lined up right now. I know in November, we've got a few different ones at Palmetto Brewery, Charleston Distilling Company, all fun local places. So there's still tickets available. So it will be a lot of fun.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you again. This has been the Charleston Women Podcast. And as we were just talking with Kelsey Pettus of CHS Coastal Charcuterie.
Thanks for spending time with Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Charleston Women Podcast.